Hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to my channel and welcome to our Ram 2500. It's a 2022 model with the 6.7 Cummins diesel. And I thought I would do a quick video while it's on top of my head right now about my two major pet peeves about this truck. Now, before I get into it, I thought I would say I love this truck. It's very comfortable. It's got plenty of power. We use it to tow in the mountains and it does fine. It's a great truck. I have zero regrets about buying it. We've got almost 10,000 miles on it. And I need to do a video about all the things I love about it. But today, I thought I would do the two biggest complaints I have about it. And I think you share them too, don't you, Ben?
Yeah.
Number one, the AC is weak. It is weak. It gets the job done just barely adequately. And that's not something you want out of a brand new truck. Now, it's about 80, 82 today. And we've been driving for a little bit, so the air is blowing cold right now. But you have to have the recirculator on. What it does is it takes the previously cooled air from the cabin and cools it even further and further. So the longer and longer you drive, the cooler the cabin air gets. So once you've been going for a while, the AC does do the job. But to start, it is weak compared to, and I've had a Ram 2005 with the gas 5.7 liter, and it got nice and chilly right off. Remember that? Our great truck. This one is just weak now. I don't know.
What about the black one?
The black one I thought was fine, even on the hottest days. That was a 5.7. That was what year was that? 2019, right? Our Ram 2019, it was a 1500 gas. So, I've seen other people complain about this. Apparently, well, what happens? You tell them.
It directs some excess heat to the mixing chamber, I guess it's called, right? Even when the heat isn't on, it's directing some hot coolant through the core, even when you don't have any heat.
So
it never stops the flow.
Yeah, so it's flowing through this like box.
Right, the mixing chamber.
Yeah, so it tends to heat up the box, and then it, for whatever reason, they engineered it. And it's been like this for a while, apparently. And there's people out there that reroute it.
They
put a
just
valve.
like some big trucks have a valve to turn the coolant flow off to the I don't know the right name for it, the core, I guess.
So I'm not going to do that. My truck's still under warranty. Wasn't there a bulletin, or I don't know if it was
Not
the
for
2022, but previous years there was like a service bulletin, and they would tear into the dash and do something, but I'm not sure. It's not that bad that I want to pursue that, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'll fool with the valve even, do you?
No, because there was some questions raised, the truck might use that to direct heat flow away from it. If it gets too hot, it'll use that as a way to bleed heat off, is what some people raised.
So, I mean, it's not a deal breaker. Right now, like I say, it's very comfortable in 80-degree weather. It's just, takes a little while for it to get on top of the heat and get it managed. It's kind of a disappointment, being a, $65,000 investment. You think it'd be blowing ice cold, and it just really doesn't. I don't know, like what it would be like in Arizona if you had 100 or 105 degree days. That might be an issue. I think a lot of it will be helped too by tinting the windows. I should say, actually, this is probably a 3-part.
I thought this was going to be your second.
That wasn't my second one, actually. So I'll have to make it a 3 for.
It shows up well on the camera right now. You can see the tint difference.
This truck doesn't have enough tint, or it is lacking something in the glass. From all the trucks I've ever had in cars, I've never had, when the sun comes through, it feels like you're being microwaved. I mean, it feels like you're put in an oven. I think other vehicles have different glass or something in the glass that changes how it heats the I mean, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know how to explain it, except when the sun comes through, you're being baked. And it's, to the eyes, it doesn't look different than other vehicles I've had, I would say.
It's definitely untinted. You can see it in the back's tinted for sure.
So that's something that I'm going to have to address at some point, but I think that ties into the whole, the air having to work really hard. Today's kind of overcast, so the air's adequate, but if it's really a sunny day, man, it's really disappointing, to be honest. But I still wouldn't go to the Ford and risk the CP4 fuel pump problem, so I'm still happy I got the Ram. Now, the next issue, my big pet peeve, and you've noticed this too driving it, the brakes get the job done just like the air, but barely adequately. The brakes do not have a lot of pedal. The brakes, to me, feel weak.
They don't bite.
They don't bite. And I'm not even talking pulling, I'm talking just the truck.
Sometimes if you're not paying attention, something can really, you need to stop abruptly, and it's like, you don't know if it's adequate.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to get the job done. I mean, you gotta...
Like a yellow light,
Yeah, a yellow light or a guy stopping, if you're just not paying attention, you need that pedal, you need to get that thing stopped, and it's like, man, it starts a white knuckle there for a minute. I mean,
you really need the exhaust brake,
yeah,
to bleed it off.
Right, which we use religiously, and that's one thing I do love is the exhaust brake. But do other people, other Ram with the Cummins, I mean, there again with my gas 2500, I had plenty of pedal, plenty of brake, but there was a stick also, and it didn't have the extra weight of the diesel. So I don't know what accounts for it. Now I'm starting to think maybe people like that feeling. Maybe, I mean, there's plenty of stopping, I guess, once you get down onto it.
Yeah,
when
once
you're really
bury
in
your
it.
foot.
Yeah, when you're down in it, it does stop the truck, but it feels like you're putting your foot through the floorboard. There's just not that responsive pedal that gives you a lot of confidence, like, hey, I got this, no worries, I'm stopping this easy. It's probably an adjustment, maybe. I probably could go to the dealer and have it adjusted to more responsive pedal. I should say I do have the pedal adjust, and I've got that could be part of it too, maybe. I've got it lowered as low as I can to the floor, because otherwise it feels like the brake pedal, you gotta lift your leg off the floorboard to use the brake.
Yeah.
It feels like the clutch on my old Ram, where you gotta lift your leg way in the air to get on that clutch. So I got I'm a tall guy. I don't want my leg hitting the steering wheel just to get onto the brake pedal. So I got, that could be part of it. Maybe a short person can chime in that has their pedals up more, and maybe then it feels more normal that way. I don't know. So if you're a Ram 2500 owner, let me know. If you own a different a brand, you can certainly leave your bragging in the comments. If you got that Ford or that Chevy, and if it blows cold and has a lot of pedal and good tinted windows, by all means, let us know in the comments. Until next time, thanks for spending a few minutes with the old guy, and we'll see you.